Is back in Britain after being deported from the World Cup in Italy. He'll be met by police officers as his plane touches down. 34-year-old Paul Scarrott, who's from Nottingham, has been jailed more than a dozen times for soccer violence. He was picked up today at Rome's main railway station, and police say will deport him as soon as possible. Yesterday, Scarrott told English newspaper journalists that he was preparing to launch all-out war on rival soccer fans.
Before the start of the World Cup, Paul Scarrott, who's got more than 40 convictions for football violence, had been under surveillance by police since he arrived in Italy 10 days ago.
The authorities are claiming it as their first victory after months of planning to stop British hooligans wrecking the World Cup. Paul Scarrott, the self-proclaimed hooligan leader, being deported from Italy after being arrested at Rome's railway station, where he'd been found wandering around carrying a half-empty bottle of wine. Despite his arrest, he remained defiant.
We will invade Italy, but we will be friendly with Italy.
Police say they've been tracking his movements since he arrived in Italy 10 days ago. And a senior officer explained he was being deported because of his past record. A British dossier on Paul Scarrott, in front of the officer, told the tale of how he'd been caught. A result of cooperation between the Italian police and the British National Football Intelligence Unit, whose head tonight said Paul Scarrott's deportation won't necessarily be the last.
The unit have been monitoring Paul Scarrott and his actions, his movements about this country for some considerable time now. And we were well aware when he went to Italy about 10 days ago, and we continued our monitoring operation. So we knew where he was and what he was up to. And we passed a considerable amount of intelligence about this man to the Italian policing authorities.
The intelligence unit aren't the only ones pleased at the action taken against Scarrott.
He's been arrested 14 times. Anybody who gets into that level of trouble has got to be an idiot. However, if he's looking for publicity, he's got the right sort of publicity. He's been deported, and he's allowing us to get through to the message to those who might want to cause a little bit more bother.
Within the last hour, Paul Scarrott arrived at Heathrow Airport, where the police whisked him away through a back door. What's happened to him?
Yes, he's been arrested at Heathrow Airport on his arrival here this evening, sir. And he's now being taken to Heathrow Police Station.
The authorities are clearly delighted that the first hooligan scalp they've claimed is also the best known, and the timing may not be accidental. This is the week in which most fans will travel to the World Cup. The government will hope that what's happened to Paul Scarrott will prove to those planning trouble that they won't be allowed to get away with it. Stuart Leaster,
One soccer hooligan is set to get a hot reception when he arrives back in Britain after being deported from the World Cup in Italy. He'll be met by police officers as his plane touches down. 34-year-old Paul Scarrott, who's from Nottingham, has been jailed more than a dozen times for soccer violence. He was picked up today at Rome's main railway station, and police say they'll deport him as soon as possible. Yesterday, Scarrott told English newspaper journalists that he was preparing to launch all-out war on rival soccer fans. The lorry driver held